Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here. Today I'm going to talk about daily drawing habits that will boost your skills and probably boost your skills pretty quickly. So as I'm doing that, you'll see me draw some thumbnails here. I'm just sectioning off my page. I'm only videotaping the top of it, but I'll just start moving my sketchbook down as I get more details in there, and then I'm probably going to go over here too. But anyway, let's get started about today's topic or topics. Daily habits that will boost your skills. Now, some of the things that I'm going to talk about today will probably rub people the wrong way. They'll get angry, upset, and it's not necessarily at me I'm predicting. It's probably they're going to be upset at themselves. Okay, and I'm going to call some people out versus why you're not getting better at drawing, and you probably won't like the answer. Others will probably nod your head and say in your head and say, yes, that's why I'm not getting better. All right, so let's think about first, do you actually love drawing? So, and to dive deeper into that is, do you like the idea of being a good artist? Or do you actually don't care about being good, you just love the process of drawing in general? If you possess that secondary feeling, chances are you're going to be way more successful in the art field than if you just want to be good without actually loving the craft. It's no different than being wanting to be a paleontologist, an astronaut. Like, hey, I want to go into space, but do you really like space? Do you think about planets every day and black holes and solar system and galaxies and light years? Probably not. Or if you do, then you're going to love space and astronomy. Same thing happens with art. When people want to become concept artists, I always ask them, can you sit at the desk and can you draw 13, 14, or 20 different iterations of the same thing and not get bored? If you say yes you can, then you're going to be good. Because 90% of what we do and what we get good at is mental. It's repetition over and over again. If you want to be a personal trainer, if you want to be a plumber, if you want to be a financial advisor, it doesn't matter. So, one of the things that you can think about is setting aside a certain time of day where you know that you can put some energy into drawing. And you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, I don't actually have any time. Well, that's your fault. And this is the first thing that's going to probably rub some people the wrong way, but it really is. It's your fault that you don't have time because you make time for what you love. Think about all of the skills that all of you have right this second that you've gotten good at. Okay, lifting weights, teaching. If you're a mathematician, doesn't matter. Then ask yourself, how and why did you get good at those specific things? You didn't get good at those things because you were waiting for time slots to open up during the day in order for you to do them. No, you set aside a time and you sacrificed other times of family, friends, going out in order to achieve those things. Well, you have to do the same thing with drawing. Drawing isn't something that's just going to pop in your brain and be like, okay, I'm good now. You can watch my channel, you can watch other art channels, and it doesn't matter. I'm sitting here drawing in front of you because I put in the time and effort throughout my life in order to do this. You have to do the same thing with drawing. If you can only set aside 10 minutes a day, that's fine. You might want to loosen up your schedule if you only have 10 minutes. Okay? I'm mentoring somebody right now that is drawing on their work schedule. Of course, it allows it because of their time and place. They just bring the sketchbook to work and they draw. You're making time for it. Okay? If you catch yourself scrolling through social media, wasting time, being fake busy throughout the day, and you really want to learn how to draw, then ask yourself, can I set aside 20 minutes at 2 o'clock? If I have an hour lunch break, what do I usually do to fill up that hour lunch break? Is it traffic? That I drive 35 minutes to the place I want to eat for 10 minutes, and then rush back? Okay, well, pack your lunch. Pack your lunch and then draw at a picnic table while you're eating lunch. Probably be more peaceful that way. You can draw that way. There's so many things that you can do and so many problems you can solve when it comes to wanting to learn how to draw and finding the time for it. Secondly, let's see here. I'm looking at some stuff. Oh yeah, the other thing is, if you really want to become good at drawing, kind of ties into what I was talking about before, you have to make drawing your priority. Okay, so think about all of the priorities that you have right now. Okay, now I'm a single dad, so I understand that kids come first. Okay, you have to make sure they're fed, make sure that they do their homework, they're going to bed at a specific time during the night. If you come home and you're really tired and you barely have time for your kids, or if you do have time for your kids, they take up most of it, and that's a good thing. Think about all the extra minutes that you have that you just scroll the internet because it's downtime. Okay? Like you come home from work and you look forward to just chilling and watching Netflix. Well, you could be drawing during that time. Or, if even better, you can watch Netflix and draw what you see, especially in the genre that you love. Like, obviously for me it would be, creatures and characters. So I'd probably put in horror movies, sci-fi, something along those lines. All right. The key is to focus on one thing at a time and to practice it consistently. Okay, so let's say, for example, if you're drawing and if you've been doing it for a while, maybe a couple months, maybe even a year, and you feel like you're not progressing, it's probably because you just want to learn so many things at once and all of the things you're doing just suck. Like, for example, I'm a creature designer, so I had to niche down into designing creatures and be good at that thing. Then my skills in creature design increased, therefore it bled into other areas. A lot of people will just try everything. Landscapes, creatures, people. They wonder why their people suck when they draw them, and it's because you haven't studied anatomy. They haven't studied anatomy because they think it's cheating. Well, thinking that it's cheating is why you're not getting better. It's not cheating. It's observation. Because what happens is you end up drawing what you think should be there versus what's actually there. And you won't get any better unless you draw what's actually there. Okay. A lot of the times when I teach students and they're trying to learn how to draw for the first time, I have them do still lifes and I have them do cubes, cones, cylinders, and spheres. Things that we see on a daily basis, but we take advantage of. Okay? We draw what's there versus what we think should be there. And what we think should be there tends to not be right. How many times have you seen somebody draw a figure and they just put lumps where muscles are? Because they won't take the time to go on Google for 2 minutes and Google shoulder anatomy. There's your shoulder, literally right there in a picture on the internet, but you won't do it. So that brings me to my next thing if you want to get better. Daily practices. Get over yourself. I know that's kind of harsh, but you got to get over yourself. What is it holding you back from looking at reference? Do you think it's cheating? Why do you think it's cheating? Oh, well, because we're looking at pictures and we're not inventing it from our head. You can't invent anything from your head unless you gather enough reference images from real life so that your brain can pull from those images and invent things on the fly. Look at these creatures that I'm doing right now. I'm not looking at anything. I have my desk, I have my pencil, my sketchbook. Okay, that's it. And then I have my timer on here on my phone. So there's no images on my phone. All right, I'm just chilling and I'm just inventing stuff on the fly. Now, all of these lines in here, I have no idea what's going on. Okay, and that brings me to the next thing. If you want to get better, a daily practice would be let your mind flow freely and stop worrying about perfection. That part is a little easier said than done. Because let's face it, we as artists always face the daunting task of making something perfect. And what happens is we end up making it worse by trying to perfect it. This thing is super hideous. It's like an insect mixed with a ferret. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I just go along with this? I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. But anyway, so I totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. All right, so perfection. Stop that. Just stop that. You're not going to become a master at anything unless you allow yourself to fail. Okay. You know, I was originally going to record this video with maybe 10 lessons. Well, no, not even 10. Probably like 5 to 8 different lessons that you can try daily to become a better artist. And here I am filling you with what's probably going to be 15 or 16. Hopefully you don't mind listening to me. I'm trying to tell you how it is. Those of you that know me by now, you know I'm a very blunt person, and I tell you how it is. That's why people ask me for portfolio reviews, for better or for worse, because I'm probably going to tell you some things you don't want to hear. Oh, and by the way, I'm guilty of all these. So I'm not calling all of you out. I'm calling myself out too. This is something that I've had to go through for years. Okay, I've been drawing for 40 years. It's my birthday today. Okay, turned 44 today. I've been drawing since 1984. Crazy to even think about that. Hold on a sec. I really have to think about that. Have I really been drawing that long? That's insane. I have to look at my old art from the grade school. Okay, so regardless of when I started to draw or how old I am, the point of all this is you have to make this a daily habit. Drawing. If you have a very busy day, or if there's something else holding you back, it could be stubbornness, it could be, depression, it could be lack of motivation. I know I've made some comments in the past about depression, and it seems like I'm ignoring people that get depressed. Like, no, I'm definitely not ignoring depression. The reason I counter-argued the depression argument is because drawing is something that you're supposed to do to ease depression. This is an outlet. Okay, so if you're drawing and it's depressing you that you're not getting better, ask yourself what is it about drawing that's you're seeking? Do you have a reason behind drawing? Do you love doing it, or are you angry that you're just not good at that? Because those are two different things. Now, obviously, if you have love for drawing and you want to keep doing it, yeah, you want to get better, but that's on the back burner. Okay, so if drawing is actually depressing you, stop drawing and ask yourself, are you really meant to do this? If you constantly get angry at drawing, you're probably not meant to do it. I hate to say that. This is another hot take. I told you this video is going to be full of hot takes. You're probably just not meant to be an artist. And that's okay. I'm not meant to be a mathematician. I am horrible at it. I chose not to be good at it. I don't like math at all. I mean, I've gotten better at it since I've gotten older. I understand things, but even in high school, I never asked for help. I should have. I was surprised that I even got by with C's in math. But so to go back to the art thing and depression, if you got depression, seek help for that, because that is serious. And I wish you the best. I really, really do. I want you to find something that helps you through depression. And if art is doing the opposite and you're getting depressed at it and you're putting the sketchbook down and coming back to it 8, 9, 10 months later, try your best to find a way to work through that depression and start with baby steps, okay? If you really love art, this thing is gross, by the way. I don't even know what this is. It's like a fungus or some kind of chimera growing out of the swamp. Ooh, I might just add some water right here. That'd be kind of fun. But anyway, if you're feeling depressed, I'm not a licensed doctor or psychologist or whatever, so I'm not trying to, be your therapist or whatever. But there might be some other outlets that you can try in art instead of just drawing, okay? There's painting, all right? There's crafts. There's textile work. There's all kinds of work. I mean, take a huge canvas and buckets of paint, just splash paint on that. That'd probably make you feel really good. Because a lot of times in depression, you just want to hit something. Like you just want to punch something, like the pillow or the air. Like you want to shadow box because you're mad, but you don't want to hit anybody. That might be a thing to try. I see people shadow boxing in the gym all the time. Like, who you swinging at? What's going on there? Then you got your random handstand guy. That's always fun to see. working your kettlebell, your dumbbells, whatever you're working, and all of a sudden some dude's just doing a handstand. Like, what are you doing over there, man? Or like the people that start dancing like it's a music video inside the gym. What's happening in there? But anyway, it's a little random story. I see it all the time. It's funny. I just smile. They're having fun, you know? Having fun. That's great. All right. Mo thumbnails. By the way, doing thumbnails, you drawing along with me? Number your thumbnails. It's always a great habit, which is another thing that I want to talk about if you want to get better. It's organization. Okay, organizational skills within your art goes a long way. I heard a great quote today from another YouTube channel that I follow. And this person said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I was thinking, I was like, if I'm lazy in one thing, I'm probably lazy in everything else. I thought, and I was like, yeah, it's true. Anytime I was lazy in the past, I was just lazy about everything else. So if you're just lazy, ask yourself why you're lazy. Are you just lacking motivation? Why are you lacking motivation? You got to get to the root cause of everything. You can't start blaming everybody else for your lack of artistic talent. Oh, talent is a whole other bag of worms I'm not even going to get into. I will say this, though, about talent without getting into a huge debate over it. I know people are probably going to comment below, and that's fine. I welcome these comments because talent is a hot take. I think certain people are born with the aptitude to do things better than others without practicing. But talent comes in when they can correct their mistakes on the fly without being told what to do. That's talent. That's just my take. I see it all the time because I watch the NFL. I see it in quarterbacks. You know, there are quarterbacks that just seem to get out of every jam. You know, they know the exact pass to do when the defensive read fails, and they just make that pass. You can't teach that. Same thing with learning an instrument. Same thing with running, you know, adjusting your breathing. Same thing with gymnastics. Same thing with art. All of that. You just have it. You can work towards having it if you don't have the aptitude. That's fine. But again, that's a whole other thing. I'm done scribbling on that. I'm just starting to pour over some details. So I think drawing habits, you know, like sketching warm-ups are really, really good. Another good time to sketch, because it all boils to, everything I'm talking about today boils down to making it a daily habit. Okay, I'm going to say it again. There's no excuse for you not to have time to draw. Drawing is something that is, the physical act of drawing and putting marks on a paper is like breathing. Just open up something and draw. It's like writing your notes down if you have a journal. Okay? Think about how many Instagram reels and TikTok videos you guys plumage through on a daily basis. 10 minutes turns into 15, and that turns into 35. And all of a sudden an hour and a half goes by and you've binge watched 8 movie trailers, 1 person learning how to make hot dogs, and 10 people falling. And you're laughing. Okay? That's cool. But you could do a homework assignment in 10 hours. Or I'm sorry, in those 2 hours. Hour and a half, whatever it is. So the same thing applies to drawing. Set aside your time and you'd be surprised at what you can accomplish. I've seen some remarkable things from people just buckling down and really learning how to manage their time. Okay. This right here is kind of bothering me. I think I'm just going to put a big face right here. It's funny, you know, I got 2 boys aged soon to be 7 and soon to be 5. Crazy. First grader and, you know, daycare, going to be first grade next year. And I'm starting to learn all of these characters that I've been seeing, like Daddy Longlegs and Choo Choo Charles, and like all of these scary, still animated looking characters. And I'm like, those are actually kind of frightening if you think about it. And they're very well designed, even though there's not a lot of detail on them. Maybe I should do a mutated Choo Choo Charles. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do for the inside of that mouth, I think I got a black Prismacolor here. I'll bring it up here. Okay, So black prism color allows you to really get dark where a graphite pencil won't, because I think you guys know that when you push hard enough with a graphite, even if you have in the Bs, because I'm drawing with a 4B for my graphite, it still looks shiny no matter how the light's shining on it. I have studio lighting down on my sketchbook right now. There we go. Uh-oh, the lawn care's here. You know what that means. You're probably going to start hearing a lawnmower go by. Okay, now that we're getting down on this page here, about halfway down, I don't know how long I'm ever going to go with these thumbnail pages. They're just a lot of fun to do. But a couple things that I want to mention. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to me, talk about daily habits that could get you better at art, like setting aside a time during the day, lunch, scribbling like this. This is another thing where you just don't really care about what's happening. But check out the links in the description below. We have a Discord, Creature Design Workshop Discord. It's a bustling community. We are almost at 5,000 members, which is crazy to think about. But what we do there is we teach drawing, but also there's a huge reference cache if you want to get better. We have pictures of people's studios if they want to show them off. Yes, we have cat pics. And we have daily sketchbook forums where you can put in daily doodles, critique forums. So it's a lot of fun. It's free to join. Check the link in the description. It's, just say hi, wave your hand, get to know the server. The other thing I want to mention, this is something I mentioned in my last video. For the past 3.5 years, I've been running a creature design workshop on my Discord. That is no longer going to be a thing as of January, because for the past 8 years, I have been teaching creature design for film and games for CGMA, which is Computer Graphics Master Academy. It's an online course. You can check the link in the description below for that. It is seasonal. So I have just started the fall season. Early signups have now started for January. I will say this though, they fill up fast. They cap all classrooms at 20. Okay, so we already have a few that have signed up, and there's still months to go, but I mean, very quickly people are already signing up. So if you want to take advantage of that, I go through an 8-week in-depth course on designing creatures. Okay, we look at anatomy, we look at functional features, we look at reference gathering, which is a skill in itself. We look at bones, muscles, head design, and above all, presentation skills. And I also sprinkle in lessons about finding work in the industry, how to become more disciplined, how to find jobs, how many pieces to put in your portfolio, like all that fun stuff. Okay, and as I'm yapping, I just drew this thing that kind of looks like a dancing fat person that has a huge helmet on. That's pretty funny, like a fat alien. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed today's lesson. I know I've said some things that probably will irk you the wrong way, and that's totally fine. Embrace that. Comment below if you're struggling. If you find yourself in the boat of not having motivation, if you're depressed, if you're just lazy, or if you're distracted. All those things are legit. We have to overcome all of our weaknesses. I've had to over the years. I still do. So do all of you. All right? Thanks again for listening to me with all of these lessons. I'm watching the channel grow, and I couldn't have done any of this without you guys. Seriously, this has been such a fun ride. And you better believe that this channel is here to stay now. I know I let it sit dormant for years. And when I'm talking years, I mean I made my channel in 2013. I let 4 years go by, posted some things, then let another year go by where I did post stuff, and then another 5 went by where I didn't. Okay, that's never going to happen again. So now's the right time that I'm really buckling down. So hopefully these lessons are helping. All right, there's my thumbnail page and me talking about things that will make you better for daily practicing. Thanks all. Peace.